Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you about colonics. During my trip to Mexico last year, I had two colonics done. I believed they are called closed loop colonics, which means that they infuse you with water through a tube and through, I don't know if it's through the same tube, and I think it's through the same tube. That's where they take out the stuff. So you don't go to like a toilet and just evacuate all the stuff. It's actually taken out of you through, I believe, through the same tube, if I remember correctly. So basically, what they have you do is you have to disrobe. You take off all your clothes because of the possibility that water may escape and get all over you. So you take off all your clothes. They give you a gown, and then you lay on sort of like a massage, table type of thing. And I was on my back, I believe. I was on my back, and then I think do they put a pillow? They might put a pillow. I can't remember because, again, if the tube gets loose, the pillow will get wet. So you're on your back, legs open, and they put the tube in that way. So you're not on your side or anything like that. So they infuse you, they have this thing. It's like I don't want to say it's a machine. I guess it's the machine, and it looks like it's kind of in the wall. And they put the tube rectally. Obviously, they have to kind of like lube you and stick it in there. I had only male nurses administer this treatment. And honestly, I want to, give them props because they were very, very professional, especially dealing with a woman. They were not weird about it at all. They do this all the time. I mean, they do colonics on people that are much older than me. So I can only imagine, they probably have very strong stomachs because they're seeing all kinds of stuff just come out. So you're laying on your back. They will start slow, or they should start slow. And he tells me, he's like, I'm going to start very slow. I'm going to, put the water in slowly. When you start feeling pressure or discomfort, then tell me, and then we'll start pulling it out. The only issue with that is that, everybody's individual tolerance is going to be different. I just don't like the feeling because if it gets, if you really get full, the farther up they can go in your intestines, if they go really far, really high up, it does start to make you feel nauseous. And I was just like, I don't want to start feeling that way. I don't like feeling nauseated. But you will start feeling like bloated before it even gets all the way up. And so, I think there was a little bit of frustration on the nurse's end because they were like, in order to get a good wash, a good, washing out, you have to have a good amount of water. And also, speed does matter. They are starting off slow to sort of get you sort of acclimated to what it's going to feel like. But the faster they do it, the more stuff will come out. It's almost like sort of like the current is what's pulling it out. If they push it in fast and then pull it out, it actually removes more waste. So, it kind of, I only wanted them to do it slowly, but he was like, if we do it faster, more stuff will come out. So as he kept doing it, he would kind of increase the speed. And there was one time where I swear I felt it, almost come up to my stomach. And I was just like, stop. I don't like that. I'm very weird about any kind of stomach related stuff. So the waste will come out, and then it goes through that thing, the machine looking thing. And you can kind of see, you can look if you want, you don't have to look because you're laying down. So you're looking up at the ceiling. But you'll feel it. You feel like you want to push. That's what happens, is that you start filling up, and then you feel this sensation like, I want to push it out. I want to get this out of my body. But you really don't have to push because they're pulling it out themselves. It's pretty easy. It's just your own tolerance and whether you like it. I will say that the colonic was probably the one treatment that was not a good idea. I did start having histamine issues afterwards, and they do use distilled water. They don't use, because Mexico water can be a little questionable. They don't use, the tap water. It is distilled, purified, clean water. I mean, you probably shouldn't be putting, tap or any kind of, not distilled water up there, because you are absorbing some of that. Um, and so, the other thing too that they did was, I think one time, the first time they put some probiotics, they like shot some probiotics up rectally after we were done, which I thought was kind of weird. And then the second time they did ozone. They did like a shot of ozone rectally. And I don't really know if either one of those did anything. But what I did notice was I started having the hair loss right, after the second one. And so, I started to kind of put two and two together that, because the hair loss is a big symptom, a big histamine symptom of mine. And so I was like, there's something about my gut issue or my gut that is part of this histamine situation, because I hadn't been dealing with the hair loss for a while. And so, and my hair loss has not stopped. It's been a year. My hair loss has not stopped. It's actually gotten worse because I've had more gut issues, antibiotics and stuff like that. So I am making that connection that the gut, anything that disrupts my gut is going to cause those histamine issues to flare up. The other thing I noticed after that, I think it was after the second colonic, was that I started having issues with my lips. I was using these lip balms that had sunscreen in them, and I had taken them specifically because of that, because they had sunscreen and I was going to be out in the sun a lot. And I started breaking out in a rash on my lips, and I noticed that it was after the colonics. And so I had to stop using them. It's weird because I've noticed that, my lips have better tolerance for some of my other lip products that I previously didn't tolerate that well. And then for those, I had to stop using them completely. So again, I think a lot of the sensitivity issues, skin sensitivity issues, and that kind of thing, they are coming from the gut, because I noticed after those colonics, I started having those issues, or the issues started kicking back up again. So that was it was an interesting clue into why, what's going on with the histamine and the, the sensitivities and stuff like that. But I also think it was bad because I think I was removing a lot of good bacteria, and it's possible that may have given bad bacteria a chance to populate, or also removing some of the lining of my intestine that was actually, helping my gut. And that might be why the histamine issues had kicked up. And of course, my histamine issues have gotten worse after the ureaplasma treatment. So colonics, do them at your own risk. Is it a huge deal? No. I mean, you do feel kind of clean after and kind of light, but I wouldn't say, I really didn't see any benefit to them. If you're a healthy person, maybe. If you're somebody that is sick and you do have gut issues, I don't know. And I had actually been warned against doing these before, many years ago. And I can't really say that I saw much benefit from them, that would outweigh the negatives. So, but anyways, those are colonics, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.